This conference will now be recorded.
So how many classes are over hours? 45. When did we started our session? Any idea? Koteshwar, ఎప్పుడు స్టార్ట్ అయింది మంది కోర్సు? 1.5 month అవుతుందా? Can you hear me? Satish, Koteshwar and
Sir,
Atik.
first class April 7th start అయింది సార్.
April 7th. April, May, April 7th, May 7th.
Yes.
2 months అవుతుందా?
అవును సార్.
Okay.
కానీ క్లాసెస్ 32 అయినాయి సార్ ఇప్పుడు. అంటే ఎక్సెప్ట్ సహనా క్లాసెస్ తీసేస్తే.
Okay, Hana and 9 or 4 and 9, yeah?
నా 5 classes.
Okay, so 37 classes. Okay.
Yes.
Still we are left with some 30 to 35 classes. ఏంటి ఇంకా ఎవరు జాయిన్ అవ్వలేదు? మార్నింగ్ 6కే వద్దామంటే అది ఉదయాన్నే లెగవటం అది కష్టం అవుతుంది. 6 అంటే మరీ ఎర్లీ అయిపోతుంది. Okay, so let us start. So let them join in between. Okay, so yesterday we were discussing regarding the, I think Koteshwar, can you go on mute? Okay, so yesterday we were discussing regarding the vendor selection process. We were able to create a request for quotation and we were able to see one of the best vendor out of 3 selected vendor. So the next step in the procurement cycle is, after vendor selection process, the next step in the procurement cycle is create various procurement documents for the selected vendor. What are those procurement documents? So the procurement documents are, we need to create a contract. The release strategy we will see it later, not now. When we are creating a purchase order, we will see the release strategy that is being relevant for all these documents. So now we are in the create contract. We need to create step number 3. Again, step number 3, we need to create various procurement documents. Like, what is the first and foremost document? That is a contract. Within contract we have a quantity contract and a value contract, and we have a scheduling agreement. We have a scheduling agreement, then release procedure for the contract and the scheduling agreement. So the release procedure for the contract and scheduling agreement, we will see it when we were discussing the purchase order. Okay, but for now, let us try to create a contract. So what is the SAP standard document type for the quantity contract? So SAP standard document type for the quantity contract is MK, and for the value contract is WK. Okay, what is the SAP standard document type for the scheduling agreements? That is LP, and scheduling agreement with release is LPA. Okay, so let me now try to create a, if I want to create altogether a separate document type for contract and scheduling agreement, I can create, else I can use the SAP standard document types. So what is the configuration that I need to do? I need to create a contract document types configuration. Configuration is create the contract document types, contract doc type configuration, then create number ranges and assign number ranges to the document types. Number range creation and assign number range to the document types. Number range to doc types. Okay, so I can create my own document types and assign number ranges to the document types for both the scheduling agreement as well as the contract. So where I will create the document types, we will see. So I will go to the SAP system and I will go to the SAP online server and user is Rafi and India 123 and I will Rafi India 123, right? What happened? India 123. Okay, so I will go to the SPRO and I will go to the SAP reference implementation guide, then go to the materials management and go to the purchasing, then go to the contract. You see there is something known as contract. Okay, so then why very less people joined today? What about others? Any idea why very less people joined?
No, sir.
Yesterday any celebrations? Maybe yesterday was leave, right? Okay, so let us see. I will go to the define number ranges. I will go to the intervals. Oh, there are so many number ranges created. So let us see if there is any intervals. Okay, I think we have some intervals. So I will try to create this particular number range interval. So what is that interval? So 34 is the number range interval. So it starts with 401 all zeros, 402999, etc. It is a internal number range. So I will try to save it. So I will try to click on OK. So 34 is the number range integer which I was able to create. Then I can create a document types. So where I will create the document types for the contracts, I will go to the define document types and I will take MK is the SAP standard document type for the quantity contract and WK is the value contract. So I will select both. I will click on copy as and I will put 7MK and 7WK. 7WK. Also I can give the number range integer. I will click on enter button. Okay, so the number range integer which I am going to give it over here is 34. So I can give same number range for the I can give same number range 34. So for the quantity contract and for the value contract, for both the contract types, I can give a number range integer is 34. Okay, so let me now go to the, I will try to save this particular contract document types. I will go to the create new request. It is a number range document type configuration for contracts. Okay, so let me now save it. So I am able to create a 7WK, 7MK and 7WK. 7MK and 7WK. Okay, so I just save it. I will also try to create a scheduling agreement document types. Where is a scheduling agreement? I will go to the, you see there is something known as scheduling agreement, and I will go to the, I will use the same number range, no problem. If you want, you can create your own number range. So what I will do, I will go to the define document types and LP and LPA. These are the SAP standard document types for the scheduling agreement. I will create ZLP and ZLPA. ZLPA. Also the number range integer, I can put it as 34. Here also I can put it as 34. Just click on enter. I think ZLP is already there. I will create 9LP and 9LPA and 9LPA. So I can give the number range integer as 34 and ZLP and ZLPA, right? 9LP and 9LPA. So I have given the same number range over here. So then I need to create a quantity contract. How I will create? I will go to the ME. What is the transaction code to create? Now with this we were able to complete the configuration. Now I will go to the contract creation. What are the transaction codes to create a contract? So the transaction code to create a contract are, I will go to the logistics and I will go to the materials management. I will go to the purchasing and you see there is something known as outline agreement. Go to the contract. ME31K is for creation of the contract. ME32K change, ME33K display, ME34K maintain supplement. ME35K is the release procedure for the contracts. ME mass contract is mass changes of a contract. If I have 1000 contracts, I want to change a particular field for a contract, I can change by using the ME mass contract transaction code. Okay, so then what is the reports? Means if I wanted to see a open contracts or the list of contracts, I will go to the ME3L. ME3L is by vendor. ME3M is by material. ME3C by material group. Also, if I wanted to take a printout of the contract, I can take the printout via ME9K. So these are the various transaction codes that are involved in the contract creation. So again, you have a scheduling agreement. So in the scheduling agreement, if you want to create a scheduling agreement, ME31K for the contract. At the same time, ME31L is for the scheduling agreement. ME32L, change of the scheduling agreement. ME33L is a scheduling agreement display. ME34L is maintenance supplement. And ME35L is the release strategy for the scheduling agreements. Mass change for the scheduling agreements is ME mass SA. We discussed, right, the difference between the scheduling agreement and the contract is you need to maintain the delivery schedules in the scheduling agreement. Where I will maintain the delivery schedules, I will maintain the delivery schedules by using ME38. ME38 is the transaction code where I can maintain the delivery schedules. ME39 is the display of the delivery schedules. ME9E is print a scheduling agreement. Like that, these and all the transaction codes that are available as a part of contract and the scheduling agreement. I want to create a scheduling contract. How I will create? I will go to the ME31K. ME31K is the transaction code which I will be using to create a contract. So what is the vendor for which I want to create a contract? So the vendor is, let me see, the vendor is 7030. Let us say the vendor is 7030, and I want to create a quantity based contract. So 9MK is the quantity based contract. 9MK or 7MK? 7MK, right? So we created a 7MK, and the agreement date is contract agreement date is today's date, and the purchase organization is IN47, and the purchasing group is 000, and the plant is IN47, and the storage location is 0001. So I will click on enter button. Every contract will have a validity start and end date. So I need to put a validity end date of the contract is a 31032023, and I will go to the item overview. Here I need to select the materials for which I want to create a contract. So X906 is the material, and X905 also one of the material. I want to create a quantity based contract. I can give a quantity of, let us say, 1 lakh pieces. Here also a quantity of 1 lakh pieces. Then the net price of the X906 material is 5 rupees, let us say, and X905 is a 5 rupees. So I just click on save button. So I will go to the save anyway. So the contract number, that is the quantity based contract that got created, is 40170. This is a quantity based contract. Then what is the value? What is value based contract? So the value based contract is a value mandatory. So I will go to the, again I am trying to create a value based contract for the same combination of the vendor, purchase organization, and for the plant. So the vendor is same 0307030, but the document type over here is 7WK. Let's wait, it is taking some time. So, and the document type is 7WK over here. So 7WK is nothing but a value based contract, and the purchase organization is IN47, and the plant is IN47, and I will click on enter button. So value contract also will have a validity start and a validity end date. So the validity end date is 31032023, and in case of the value contract, the value of the contract is mandatory. So I need to specify the value mandatorily available over here. Let us say the value of the contract is, let us say, 1 lakh rupees. So I will click on enter. Only the difference between the quantity contract and the value contract is 1 minute. I am getting one call. Okay, so I need to create a X905 and X906 are the two materials, and the target quantity for my contract is 1 lakh numbers, and the net price is 5 rupees. So I will just click on enter and try to save it. So it is a value based contract. So the value based contract is, this is the value based contract. Okay, so the only the difference between the quantity based and the value based contract is you have a value mandatory field within the contract for the document type Z7WK. Okay, so then what is a scheduling agreement? So scheduling agreement is, let me try to create a scheduling agreement. Okay, so first try to complete the contract. So if I want to change a contract, I can change the contract via ME32K, right? So let us say this is the contract. If I wanted to change the quantity, or if I want to add something, one more line item, I can add it over here by getting into the change mode of the contract. Okay, so let me, does not exist. Okay, so I will input the quantity and value. So if I want to add a one more additional line item for the existing contract, I can add it over here. So then display of the contract. So the display of the contract is, you know, already know. So if you want to display a contract, then you can display the contract in this particular mode of, in this option. Okay, so then maintain supplement means there is a contract created, and for this particular contract I wanted to maintain a release order text. So I can maintain a release order text, something like this. Then a header text, if I want to maintain, I can maintain the header text like this. Means I created a contract, later some point of time if I want to maintain, I can maintain a header text and header note, etc. Any text information I want to maintain, I can maintain it over here. So with the maintain supplement transaction code. So I will now go to the release strategy. We will discuss later when we are discussing the purchase order. And mass maintenance of the contract means I created 2 to 3 contracts. I just wanted to change some values via mass transaction code. So how I will do that? I will go to the MEMAS, and I wanted to change the header level information of the contract. I will go to the header level, or I will see the item level. Let us see, I will go to the item level and I will go to the execution. I have 3 line items in the contract. So what is the contract number? So this is the contract number, or I can put both the contract numbers. This is the first contract number, and the last contract number is the, this one is the last contract number, and I will click on execute button. So we have a, in the contract number 1 we have 2 line items, in the contract line contract 2 we have 3 line items. I will go to the selection of the fields. So let us say I wanted to change the first reminder days and the second reminder days and third reminder days. So I will click on, I will drag these 3 things into left side, for which I want to make changes. I will go to the change mode. So the first reminder, second reminder present is blank. So I want to put 10, 20 and 30. So I will select, I will go to the carry out mass change. So I am going to change the first reminder, second reminder, third reminder to 10, 20, 30. I will just save it. Price error, the mandatory condition pricing R001 is not available. I think there is some price error, but let us see whether it got updated over here or not. So I will go to ME31K and I will try to see first reminder earlier it was blank, now it got changed to 10, 20, 30 for the line item number 10, and for the line item number 20 I can see again updated, and for the line item 30 also I can see the first and second reminders got updated for 10, 20, 30. Also for this particular line item I can see first, second and third reminders got updated over here 10, 20, 30. Right, like this I can update the contract in a mass transaction code like this. Okay, so then I wanted to see a contract printout. How I will see? I will go to ME9K. Let us say this is the contract which I just want to take a printout. Okay, but somehow this is not working. But if you wanted to see a contract printout, you will be able to see it over here. But it requires a little bit of development over here. Okay, so you can see the contract printout over here by using ME9K transaction code. Then if I want to create a scheduling agreement, how I will create? I will go to the ME31L. ME31L is the transaction code to create a scheduling agreement. I will go to the ME31L and the vendor is 7030 and the scheduling agreement document type is 7LP and the purchase organization is IN47, plant is IN47, and I will click on enter button. Or I will take LP. Okay, so scheduling agreement also like your same contract only, how you created it will also have a validity start date and validity end date, and it will also have the details of the materials and X904 and X906, and the target quantity of the scheduling agreement is like this. And the net price is, there is no much changes between the contract and the scheduling agreement creation. We just need to create the same way how we created the contract as well. Okay, so I will now try to save it. So the scheduling agreement that got created is 5550152 5550152 and scheduling agreement with the document type LPA. I can also create with LPA. The same way how I created a scheduling agreement, I can create for the LPA document as well. I will just save it. So I just saved it. So this is a scheduling agreement with LPA document type. Okay, so how I will be able to change a scheduling agreement? I will be able to change by using ME32L. So let us say if I want to make some changes, I want to add a 905 material, I can add it over here for a price of 5 rupees. So I can save it. Okay, now I want to display a scheduling agreement, that is ME33L. I can display like this, and I want to maintain a supplement like how I maintain the supplement for the scheduling agreement. I can maintain the supplement for the scheduling agreement in this fashion as well. Okay, like the same way how we maintain, we can maintain the scheduling agreement. text over here as well. Also the pricing types also I can make some information. If I want to maintain, I can maintain over here as a supplement. Okay, so then we have a release strategy of the purchase scheduling agreements. We will see it in the coming sessions, and mass maintenance of the scheduling agreement. So if I wanted to maintain something, let us say I want to maintain the reminder days the same way how I maintained for the contracts, I can maintain the same over here as in this fashion. I will just click on execution button. So let us say I want to change the reminder days. Maybe the reminder days I have selected as blank now. I want to change it to 1, 2, 3. So I will select it and I will click on perform mass change direction for, and I will click on save button. So I will go to the OK button. So now I will see whether the reminder days for this particular scheduling agreement got changed over here or not. So I will go to ME33L and I will try to display the scheduling agreement, and I will go to the line item details of the material. You see there is a reminder days which got changed to 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay, so now let me get into the next transaction code. So that is a scheduling agreement. See, the difference between the scheduling agreement and the contract is, in case of the scheduling agreement, we are going to maintain the delivery schedules. Where you will maintain the delivery schedules, you are going to maintain the delivery schedules at ME38. So I will go to the ME38, and this is the scheduling agreement. Let us say I want to maintain a delivery schedules for the line item number 10. We have a scheduling agreement created for 1 lakh pieces, and for this 1 lakh pieces I will just double click it over here. So I can maintain a delivery schedules, means on 15/06/2022 I can have a delivery scheduled quantity 25,000. On 30/06/2022 I can have 25,000. On 15/07/2022 I can have a 25,000 schedule, and on 31/12/2023 I can have a delivery schedule for 25,000. So I can just save it. Like this I can give a delivery schedules. If I wanted to see the delivery schedules, I can see the delivery schedules for the line item number 1 over here by using ME. What is the transaction code? ME39. ME39 is the transaction code to see the delivery schedules. If I want to print a scheduling agreement, I will go to the ME90 transaction code, and I will be able to print it over here by using the ME90 transaction code. Let me see. Okay, but so we were not able to see the printout over here. But if you want to see the printout, you can see by using ME90 transaction code. Also, you want to send the reminders, you can send the reminders over here by using ME91E transaction code. Okay, so we have a create scheduling agreement release. We have 2 types of scheduling agreements, right? Okay, so that is LPA. LPA is nothing but scheduling agreement with release. If you want to have the scheduling agreement with release, then you need to get into the transaction code ME91, ME84. So I will just go to the ME84, and I will just click on execution button. This will not work. Scheduling agreement release means you are creating a scheduling agreement and you are trying to release that particular scheduling agreement to the one of the APO software. So APO is nothing but advanced planning optimizer. So it is one of the SAP materials management module within SAP. If you want to integrate the scheduling agreements that you have created with the SAP APO module, then you are going to transfer the scheduling agreements that you created from SAP to the SAP APO. Okay, but it requires so many settings. Okay, but this is only the purpose of the release. I will try to release it, but it will not work. Okay, why? Because you need to, if you want to transfer the data from SAP system to the SAP APO, there requires a lot of settings. So all those settings are we need to be in place. Then only your scheduling agreement which you have created will be released to the SAP APO system, so that in the SAP APO you can do the proper planning for this particular scheduling agreement, right? But it is not working over here. Okay, so we will see what is scheduling agreement with release. Let me see what is scheduling agreement. See, so if you want to transmit this thing, right? A scheduling agreement release enables you to record the current status of the lines of a delivery schedule stored in the system for a scheduling agreement item and then transmit the status to the vendor. Okay, so but if you want to transmit to the vendor system or nothing but a SAP APO system, you need to have a lot of settings. You need to have the connectivity between the SAP APO and SAP systems. All those things are missing. That is the reason we were not able to do the release of this particular scheduling agreement. Okay, but we will, but the purpose is the same which we discussed. Okay, so let me now close this. Okay, so let me now go back and okay, so any doubts on the contract and the scheduling agreement? Hello, can you hear me?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so then we have a what next? We have a report, right? So if I wanted to see a contract or scheduling agreement, so I will be able to see the open contracts or the scheduling agreements with the help of a various transaction code ME3L. ME3L is the transaction code. I wanted to see the contracts that I have created for a particular vendor. So these are the contracts that I have created for the vendor 7030, right? So I will click on execute button. So these are the contracts or the scheduling agreement that I am able to create for the vendor 7030. Then I wanted to see the list of contracts that are created for the material. I will see by using this particular transaction code. See, these are the material, right? So I can see material based report as well. I wanted to see list of contracts created for a particular material. I will see by using this particular transaction code. So I wanted to see by material group or tracking number, all those things are available. You can see various reports based upon the relevant parameter that you have selected. So like this, there are various reports which will give you a overview of the contracts that are created by you. Okay, so then what next? So the next is the create a one-time procurement document known as purchase order. Right, you have the next step number 4 is the release strategy. We will see it on later. Okay, so the step number 4 is a create purchase order. What is the configuration that you need to do it for the purchase order? So again, you need to create a document type for the purchase orders. You can create a document type for the purchase orders and create number ranges, assign those number ranges to the document type. Okay, so what is the SAP standard document type for the purchase orders? So purchase order document type configuration. Okay, so I need what are the SAP standard document types for the purchase order? The SAP standard document types are NB, and FO is nothing but a framework order purchase order document type. UB is the stock transfer document type for the PO. FO is the framework order document type for the PO. NB is the SAP standard document type for the PO. So then you need to create a number ranges, assign those number ranges to the document types. Okay, so we will see tomorrow regarding the purchase order. I think tomorrow there will be a class, right, separate class. So we can continue these things, and Monday, if possible, I will try to take the class, additional class on Sunday. So why? Because we need to complete the course, right? So it's already 2 months. We are still on the scenario number 1 only. We have again some 6 to 7 different scenarios. Then we have inventory management, etc. So I will try to take some extra class and we will try to cover the topics. So are you available on this Sunday so that we will be able to have one extra class if possible? Or you want to take some practice?
Yes, sir, we are available on Sunday.
Pardon me?
Yes, sir, we are available on Sunday, sir.
We are?
No problem, sir. No problem. Available on Sunday, sir.
Okay then. We will see. Okay then. Thank you. Bye bye.